Hi, Valerie Dawn here. In this video I'm going to show you how to make these super cute Santa pins. And these are great for Christmas gifts. They make a really fun craft day with the kids, and they also sell really well at Christmas bazaars. They're inexpensive and quick and easy to make, and I will show you all the materials and steps you need to make it. So let's get started. Well, first of all, you need a flower loom like this one. And this is by Love Knitting, and I picked this one up at my local Walmart. You can also get them at Amazon, and I'll leave the link in the description below the video. Now the other items we need is some fuzzy white yarn, about a worsted weight. You don't want it too thin, it won't make nice fluffy Santa, and if it's too fat you won't have enough loops. This works well. It's called Lion Brand Yarns. Feels like bliss. I picked this up at Michael's Crafts stores. We need red, green, and white craft felt. A pair of scissors. We need these little pins that you can stitch onto the back of the Santa. You can use a regular safety pin as well. You don't have to have these. Safety pins will work. You need a darning needle. This little hook comes with the loom to help take the threads off of the loom. And we also want a regular paper hole punch, which helps us cut these little circles out. We also need white craft glue. Any brand will do. It's a white glue that will dry to transparent. All right, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, the loom has this little knob at the end. We're going to tie this on just to anchor it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make 4 rounds, and we start like this, and you simply wind the yarn around each spoke. Don't stretch it too much because our Santa will shrink up a little too much. You just want enough tension to keep it around the spokes. And there's our first round. There's one. And you know where you've left off because of this spoke. Okay, this is our second round. Any brand of yarn will do. It works out best if it's a nice bright white and fuzzy. And that's our third round. If you lose track, you can look here and you'll see 1, 2, 3. I tried it with 3. I liked it better with 4. And there. All right, now this end we're going to keep here because at the end we're going to use that to sew the pin on the back, and this we're going to use to sew the whole flower together. And I like to use about a yard or a meter. Now I'm just going to snip that. All right, next step, and we'll set that out of the way, is to thread the darning needle. This has a blunt end. If your end is too sharp, it could split the yarn ends. Now, the first thing we're going to do is go back and forth around every loop to tie the whole thing together. So you go right between those 2 loops, pull it all the way through, and sometimes it will get caught on the spokes. Don't worry about that, just unhook it. And this one is the farthest one. Bring it there, and we go all the way around once. And remember, if you want to skip ahead in the video, I have chapter markers there. Sometimes it's a little hard to see, but if you look close, you'll see there's the last one I did. And I'm going in a counterclockwise direction. It doesn't matter. Now see, be careful that doesn't get caught in the back. If it does, just pull it loose. And these are really fun if you're sitting, in the evening. You can just make a whole bunch of these, and later on come back and you can add all the other embellishments. There, we're all the way around. Now the next step is to weave in and out each one of these petals. Okay, so come across to the other side. It looks like this on the back. The next step is we left off right there. We're going to come up here and we're going to weave in and out. And don't pull it, you know, you have to pull it a bit snug but not too tight. It's going to want to get caught around the spokes. And just weave in and out. We're going to go around 4 times because we want to make sure this all holds together snugly. We're almost all the way around. And sometimes I lose track. It's a little hard to see the white on the white. And that's back to where we started. There's our first one. See that loop right there? So now we're going to go to the back and we're going to skip 2. And then we'll do it again so that we get the opposite petals. Because we have to hold this, you know, this thread is going to hold it all together for us. Pull it a little bit snugly. That was 2 rounds of wrapping it around the petals. And you can see there's where we left off. So each petal has 1 loop. Okay, now we're going to skip 2 again. And we're going to do that all over again to make sure this is nice and securely held together. And I like to put my needle down in between the last rows. And that's to make sure it's really nice and secure a bit. And sometimes that gets caught, just pull it out. This is where it can get a little hard to tell where you left off. And I think we're almost there. I'll do 1 more. It's okay if you go over an extra. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to go opposite again, so skip 2. I just went down this one. I'm going to come up over here so that I can catch the opposite side, the opposite petals twice. And there we go. I suppose you could count them to keep track, but it's not that important. So long as you get this nice and securely tied together. Give it a little tug. Couple more and we're round to the other side where our starting point is. I'll come up 1 more time. And I think that's good. I think we've got it. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is just do a little knot here with this, a couple of them. See, just catch a couple of threads. Make sure it doesn't get caught around your spoke. Give it a tug. I'll do another one of those. Give it a tug. And then I'm going to pull this all the way through to the other side. Pull it through. And then I'm just going to snip it off. We will be gluing our Santa eyes and mouth on it to hold it together. We are ready for the next step, which I'm going to show you now. Let's untie this thread and very gently take our hook and we're going to remove, kind of pull it up to the top, just very gently slip them off of each spoke. All the way around, just go slowly. Make sure they're completely off. All the way around to the end. There's our flower. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to thread the other end, grab one of our pins, make sure it's good functioning, and we're just going to lay that, let's get our thread in the right position here. Make sure you don't catch any of the petals. All right. And then you just hold the pin. I don't worry about going through these holes. All you really need to do is do several stitches to secure that pin on the back. Remember I had said that you can use a safety pin as well. You don't have to have these special pins. It's nice to have them, but it's not necessary. And you do 4 or 5 stitches so that it's securely on there. Great. And then we're just going to do a couple of little knots. That's one. All right, and again, just slip that, run that through. There we go. And snip that off. There we go. And we have a pin. And that is the back. Okay, and we're on ready for the next step. Now the next step goes, from here it goes really pretty fast. We bring out our red, green, and white felt. I have a little hat pattern that is on my website, and I'll leave a link to it below. Or you can just fashion one yourself. And I just cut out around this pattern. If you're making more than one, you just keep going, cut out a whole bunch, set that aside. There's our hat. The next step is where we get our hole punch. Now, I have found that the hole punch doesn't punch all the way through this felt. That's okay. What I do is I just get it started, and then I take my little scissors and snip around the edge. And you just need one red. There's one red. Set the red aside. We need one white and 3 green. All right, here we are. This is the last step of building our Santa. We have our hat cut out. We've got 3 green circles. We've got 1 red one and 1 white one. And we have craft glue. I like to put down a little bit of parchment paper so that I don't get glue on the table. And I have a couple of toothpicks to help apply the glue. And the first thing we're going to do is get a little bit of glue here. I'm going to take my white. There we go. This needs to be a type of glue that dries to transparent. And we're just going to tuck that on the top. I can hold it down with my other toothpick. And we'll just, there we go. Set that aside. All right. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry. I have another little hat here that's already been dried. All right, the next step is to apply this to the back. I like to trim that, oops, that was backwards. I like to trim the hat a little bit so that it doesn't stick up too high. I'm just going to take a little bit off the end of that. There we go. Trim that a bit. And then I'm going to apply glue to this side of to the end of the hat. So we have the glue on, lots of glue on our hat. Fit it right there. And hold it so that it's, you can also just put a little bit more in here. Make sure it's nice and secure. There we go. I also like to put a little bead of glue right around here so that it doesn't come apart when the kids start playing with it. And so you can just apply that around there. All right, on one here. Put the hat on first so you know it's right side up in relation to the pin on the back. Just slide that into place. Press it down. Okay, there's our other right here. And we just need Santa's mouth and we're done. And there is our Santa pin. And that's all there is to it. Please remember to press like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.